Me here for an old bugger. I remember when Chucky Carroll was a little weenie and Mark was just like a gnat flapping around everybody. Some of you people are getting old, you know. It's really strange to look around. And I don't know why you're all, Crocker's over here smirking, but he looks old too. It's really cool to be here.
You all need to dye your hair.
We all. Grateful it's real. It's real. We came, Mark's family came to this church back. I'm about the same age as Ralph Kraft, by the way. We went to different schools together. And when we got to this church, it was, what year was that? We were in Time War. 64, yeah. And John Acord was already old. We were meeting down in the Masonic Hall in Los Altos. It is now, it wasn't then, it was actually the church then. And first time I ever went to that church, it was in Boy Scouts. We met in the basement of that church. And then later, who would know, we'd come to the church. My sister came to Christ at camp and needed to find a church that had a good youth group, and nobody had a youth group like Los Altos Baptist. And that's where she landed. And I was a senior in high school when she started going to the church. She started talking about all these people that I knew in high school were going to church, and I said, I don't even like those people. And she was really serious about her faith, and she was singing in Bob's choir, Coach. And so she invited the family to come to hear her sing in the choir on Easter Sunday. And Ralph was in the...
Need to be clarified here. First of all, yes, we still do have the 66 GTO. We drive it to church. It's cool. It looks the same. It sits in our garage the rest of the week. But this is my own hair. Now Bob Deal, look at the hair on that guy's head. Bob Deal used to have enough confidence in my my self-confidence that he would tell jokes about my hair. And one that I remember is he'd say, Jeff Robinson used to have a crew cut, which is true. But his crew bailed out. But actually they've come a long way in diagnosing the causes of baldness. And so I have a lifetime hair joke license, by the way. They discovered that the guys that are bald in the front, and there's a few of you I see out there, are thinkers. It's true. And then there's a lot of guys that are bald in the back. Those are your lovers. And then of course somebody's going to raise their hand and say, well, what about the guys that are bald all over? They think they're lovers. Anyway, I want to tell you something you've always been wondering, and probably nobody was wondering it more than Jerry Moses. When Marie got up here, Marie does not dye her hair. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but we got the GTO when we graduated from college. We bought it new. She does not dye her hair. So God does have a sense of humor. It's all balanced out in our family. But
yeah, I basically just want to say thank you in lots of different ways. Family. When I was about 9 years old, Coach, I had gone to the day camp, and you get off, this is like our first year here or something, and I got off the bus at the wrong stop. And so I was walking home, and my mom said, you know, she was at church waiting, and you didn't leave until I got back. And there's actually a family that had gone to the day camp who they were driving by, and they picked me up and brought me over. But there, you know, like I was in different schools and things, but I realized this is like the village I grew up in. You know, and it's youth group, and for me, it actually, I started when I was like 3rd grade in Sunday school here. And there are people beyond who were high school years, for those of us who started earlier in the church, there are people, some of whom are in heaven now, who were Sunday school teachers, who were leaders in different ways. Some of them are your parents. There are just so many people that have impacted our lives in, good ways. And I realize also there are things that we avoided because we had this as our place to be, and we were